Hello family and friends, I'm Susan and welcome to my home. Hey everybody, it's Susan here, and today we're going to do two good cookout items. The first one is the Chick-fil-A slaw. I'm going to do it basically by the recipe, just going to half in the recipe because we didn't need a lot. And then the next thing I'm going to do is my chili recipe. It is so good. It is truly the best chili, especially for a hot dog, that you could ever want. It is so good and a little bit spicy, but not too bad. Ponytail up, let's get to cooking. Okay, we're at the campground and I am going to make some Chick-fil-A coleslaw, which is my favorite kind. You'll need 1 cup mayonnaise, 4 teaspoons of white vinegar, 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, 1/4 teaspoon dry mustard, which I'll just use regular mustard, 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt, and it says 2 bags of coleslaw. I'm only going to use 1 bag. I'm halving in the recipe. I don't need a full recipe. And we're going to get this mixed up real quick, and we'll have us coleslaw for tonight's hot dogs and hamburgers. And I'm going to add 1 bag of the 3 Color Deli coleslaw. And you could cut it up if you wanted to. I think it's going to be fine just big because we're going to put on hot dogs and hamburgers. The next thing is 1/2 cup, because I'm doing half the recipe, of the mayonnaise. And I've got a heaping 1/2 cup of mayonnaise. I may put more in because I do like mine a lot more mayonnaise-ier. 1/8 cup of sugar. It calls for 1/4. I'm using 1/8. This is 1/8 teaspoon of mustard. It calls for dry mustard. I don't never have dry mustard, so I'm just going to use regular mustard. It should be fine. I did it last time and it was tasting really good. Just a little bit of mustard on there. A little bit of salt. It calls for 1/4 teaspoon of kosher salt. I'm going to do less than that, so I'm just going to sprinkle it around real quick. And it calls for 4 teaspoons of vinegar. Of course, I'm halving the recipe, so I'm only going to do 2. 1, 2. All right. Now let's mix this around and get it all incorporated. Okay, I've got everything mixed around. I did wind up adding a little more mayonnaise. I probably could have used a little less sugar. Not that big of a sweet slaw, but it does make a little bit sweeter slaw. But it's really good. So I'm going to put this in the container, put a lid on it, and then it's ready for tonight for hot dogs and hamburgers. We just got back from the campground and I used up the last of my hot dog chili. So I'm going to show you how I make my hot dog chili. We're going to need 2 pounds of hamburger meat. I've got a little over 1/2 cup of onion, and I've got around 1/2 cup of bell pepper. And this is my hamburger seasoning, my hamburger skillet spice, which is Grill Mates hamburger, tomato, basil, Mrs. Dash, and minced onion. I've already got it mixed up in this. I need some chili, and I'm going to put in some chipotle chili, which makes it a little spicy. Now, you could just do all regular chili if you wanted to. I put the chipotle in because I like it spicy. And I'm going to start by putting my onions and my bell peppers in the skillet to soften up a little bit, and then we'll add the hamburger meat. I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in the bottom, probably about a teaspoon or so. And then I'm going to add the bell pepper and the onion. And I'm going to let those sweat down just a little bit, and then I'll start adding the rest of the mixture. That sweated down just a little bit. Now I'm going to add the hamburger meat. And I'm basically going to tear it into pieces. That way it will brown up a little easier. And again, that's 2 pounds of hamburger. I think this was 80-20 or 70-some, 80-some. Doesn't matter. I don't look for the lean because I do want the grease. And we're going to keep the grease in the pan because that makes it taste better. Okay. Hamburger meat's in there. This has been cooking about 15 minutes. And I just came in here and stirred it around. And as you can see, it's starting to get brown, and you see all the juice that's coming out of the meat. Yes, that's grease or fat, whatever you want to call it, but that is what's going to make this hot dog chili so good. I saw a program on TV where they were doing hot dog chili, and the person doing the hot dog chili said to keep in the grease, that's what made their hot dog chili so good. So I tried it, and for hot dog chili, which is the only chili I do this with, I do keep in the grease. Now I'm going to go ahead and let this cook for another 15 minutes, and then I'm going to add the rest of the ingredients, and I'm basically letting this cook on about medium to medium high. It's about a 6 to a 7 for another 15 minutes, and then we'll check in and see how it looks. And this has been cooking for about 15 minutes. As you can see, it's nicely brown. The bell peppers have gotten a little bit softer. The onions have gotten opaque. If you don't like bell peppers, you don't have to use this many. I do, and I do in my hot dog chili, but like I said, you don't have to put them in. Totally optional. Now the next thing we're going to do is 2 tablespoons of the hamburger seasoning. That's 1. And that's 2. Half a teaspoon of chili powder, which, like I said, I'm going to be using this and the Texas chili powder. If you only want to use regular chili powder, you don't have to use the Texas. Hold on. Half a teaspoon. I was about to put a teaspoon in there. Half a teaspoon of the chili powder. And 1 teaspoon of the chipotle chili powder, which this is going to bring the heat. You could use half of one of these, or all just regular chili powder. This is spicier. This is what gives it its kick. Y'all know I like a little bit of spice in with my stuff. So that's that. And now I need about 8 tablespoons of ketchup. Let me see if I can squeeze it in. I'm just using the Hunt's ketchup. 2. All right. Now let me mix it all up. I want it to be a nice red consistency. If it's not, I'll probably add a little bit more ketchup. Now you can leave this on simmer until people come over to eat your hot dogs and your chili. Or you can let this cool down, put it in a container, and then reheat it whenever you want to use it. But this, on a hot dog, is amazing. Put a little bit of mayonnaise, mustard, ketchup. A little bit of this on top, some slaw, some of that slaw I made on top of that, and it is so good. But here you go. Homemade hot dog chili. It is amazing. Try making it. You'll love it. Now, you know there ain't nothing like a good old hot dog, especially in the summer whenever you've grilled it out. And of course right here I'm putting together my hot dogs the way I do them, with a little bit of ketchup and a little bit of mustard, and then that amazing hot dog chili that I made. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I hope you'll come back and see the next one. I'm thinking about a dessert for next time possibly, but look at that chili. By the end of this, your mouth should be watering because this looks so good. All of today's recipes will be linked below. Please print out the recipes and try them. They're really easy. And please comment. Let me know if there's anything that you'd like to see me make, or any ideas about recipes that you think might be good that you would like for me to try. Until next week, have a great week. Please like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos.